Well, episode 31. Episode 31. I'm going to dedicate this one to my stepbrother Brian Bruss, who wore number 31 on the Three Lakes High School state runner-up football team. Number 31.
Very cool.
Shout out to Brian. We have a long podgenda today.
We do. We have to be efficient today.
A long podgenda. A lot of insanity happened in Wisconsin over the last
I do feel like
6 to 7
is it
days.
like Memorial Day weekend or something? What is it about?
Summer's here.
Yeah.
Summer's here. Yeah, that's got to be it.
Because there's a lot of fun things on this list.
Yeah. Well, let's start off with Memorial Day weekend. Man impersonating Parks Department official at local boat launches.
Yep. This is a good one.
What was local, first of all? It was in the Wausau News.
Wausau area.
Yeah.
It was. So I think it was actually on Lake Wausau or one of those bodies of water in that area. But there was a man dressed up like a park official walking around the boat launches, and he would go up to vehicles that he noticed did not pay their boat launch fee, and then when they would get off of the water, he would say that they owed him $50 in cash for the violation fee of not paying the boat launch.
That sounds legit.
Yeah, it does.
I would...
The cash thing should not
thing,
be.
Yeah.
It's usually like a ticket that you have to fill out and send in. I've gotten a few.
The $50 in cash thing is. I wonder how many people actually paid him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody obviously turned him in. It's a good idea.
I
like it.
It's like that guy just graduated from selling cups outside of a kegger party that wasn't his to now doing this. It's the same guy.
I might turn the kids onto this because I think it's got some legitimacy.
Yeah.
Even if you could approach the towns and do a 50-50 split and make this into a real business.
Sure.
I mean, I don't think I would have questioned the cash thing because if you're out at a boat launch, they're not gonna. I would have thought, okay, here's the guy right here. He's gonna ask me for, he's gonna tell me I didn't pay for my boat, which, okay, I'm busted. He caught me. And then I owe him $50 because I didn't pay my slip. And, there's no credit cards.
But he still had to issue
that.
a ticket. It wouldn't just be like, hand me cash.
I don't know if I would think that.
I would have gotten
if it wasn't
creative.
an actual police officer.
Sure.
I'd have set up my own MagStripe account.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd have taken credit cards straight up.
Yeah.
And then you could just make up whatever fake receipt you want from like the Wisconsin Department of Boat Lift Conservation or boat landing conservation. And then, would you like your receipt, ma'am? Sure.
Print it out
I
something
suppose,
legit.
just email. We'll email that to you.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done.
3 days later, get an email that says, gotcha. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the only. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that wasn't the only shenanigans going on in Wausau this past weekend.
What else?
Well, this might be the best story of the week.
The headline is anyway.
Yeah. Wausau pool closed after intentional fecal incident.
Yes.
I was going to say accident, but it was no accident.
It's like the baby Ruth in the pool.
It is.
Yeah. Memorial Pool in Wausau was closed on Tuesday after someone allegedly intentionally spread fecal matter all over it.
And they picked a hot week to close down a pool.
How did
a lot
they
of
figure
people
out
are
what
mad.
it was?
Oh.
I think you just know.
Well, I mean, I guess the whole thing is just a why. But I mean, again, the first thing I think of is like the baby Ruth in the pool.
for sure.
And it's okay.
It's still good.
Yeah, it's okay. Doesn't he say it's okay?
Yeah.
It's okay.
I've swam in that pool before.
Well,
Where were you on Tuesday?
I'm going to DNA test that feces. I think it's Andy's. So that headline, I want to talk about headlines quick. You know how I like to pick apart headlines? Wausau pool closes after intentional fecal incident, okay, was not my favorite headline. This one was because I was so confused when I read this headline. I'm going to read the headline. Men open adult gaming lounge to bring community together.
Why is that your favorite?
Adult gaming lounge. I didn't understand what that was. Okay, and I'm thinking, anytime you use the adult word,
Like gambling, maybe?
Yeah, well, like adult entertainment.
Sure.
Adult. You have to be an adult to buy cigarettes. So I'm thinking, men open adult gaming lounge. How is that bringing the community together? Well, so then I went on to read the story, and the adult gaming lounge is basically like a room full of PlayStations for adults. It's like, what's the new high school thing they do?
Esports.
Yeah. It's like adult esports.
Yeah.
So that was the gaming lounge. But boy, that headline threw me. You guys didn't interpret it that way at all?
That's exactly how I interpreted it.
Oh, the same way I did?
Yeah.
Adult gaming lounge.
No, I kind of assumed. I mean, it was
I don't
just
know
a
why
normal
they
game
would classify it. Like, why not just gaming lounge? And
Yeah, I guess.
teenagers can
Are
come
kids
to it.
not allowed?
I don't know.
I would assume they're not because they lay the smackdown on the adults in any of those games. But adult gaming lounge, and I was picturing like latex swings and things I shouldn't have been.
Wow.
What a strange. Where was that adult gaming lounge anyway?
Milwaukee's uptown neighborhood.
Sure.
Well, the adult gaming lounge is open if anyone wants to partake in the Milwaukee Uptown neighborhood. If Karen shows her face, will you guys holler?
Yep.
Since we're talking about Milwaukee, Marquette is requiring vaccines for all students by August 1st. Since Marquette is a private school, I assume that they must be able to run under different rules than like UWs and whatever else.
Because UW said they're not requiring it.
Do you think that would hurt enrollment? Like, are people going to be like, well, I was going to go to Marquette, but now I'm such an anti-vaxxer that...
I wouldn't think so at Marquette.
Really?
I think people that are paying the amount of money that it takes to go to Marquette are just probably, well, whatever. I'll do what it takes to go there.
It's just a small barrier to
I feel like
entry.
you would get a lot of complaining if it was a UW school.
Oh, yeah,
like if
for
UW
UW,
Platteville said,
yeah.
we're gonna, there'd be a lot of pushback, I think.
Well, that said, Tommy Thompson said something about the UW systems have no plans for mandatory vaccines at UW, right?
Right.
That's the
Yep. I can't open the story because it's JS Online and I'm not subscribed.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay.
Well, since we're talking about, remember we talked a long time ago about that pharmacist in Wisconsin that dumped all the vaccines? Did you see he was sentenced?
Yep, 3 years.
3
going
years
to
in the
prison.
clink.
Yeah.
Good behavior, he'll be out tomorrow. But still, 3 years for dumping 500 vaccines. That's a day and a half per vaccine, basically.
I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah.
He's the guy who thought the world was flat and stuff still, too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we talked to his cellmate at that time.
Yeah.
I forgot.
That was his jailmate.
I forgot
so now
we
he's
talked
going
to
to
the
prison.
cellmate.
I wonder if it will get a hook up with his new cellmate.
Well, is he going to get... he'll have a new cellmate, and then he'll probably get credit for time served.
I bet.
I would think so. So he's getting out yesterday.
Yeah,
With good
he's already
behavior.
out.
Already out.
His story's old. That's my bad. Did you go shopping at the General?
I did go shopping
really?
at the General.
Oh, I didn't expect this.
$5 at the General, brought to you by RuggedGear.com. RUGIDGEAR. Coolers, duffel bags, gun cases, all kinds of stuff for the outdoors.
Yeah, so I checked out, and they said...
Are they starting to recognize you?
Well, if it's
starting,
certain cashiers do this. The guy today was new, and he rang everything up, and it rang up as full price. So
No.
Panic. Panic.
Yeah. So I walked up there.
We don't have a budget for this.
No, Rugged doesn't have that kind of dough.
My goal was to spend $5, and it rang up as like 19.
Oh my gosh!
And I said, "Oh, you better double check
actually,
that."
I actually
Back
kind of like
that
this.
up, pal.
I like this because that's just showing how much we're
Right.
saving.
Right.
Well, I think what you should do is maybe leave a 1-star review, and we'll have Karen read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just got a few items that are they're all right today for what we got. So I spent $5.10.
Okay.
Okay. First thing I got was this nice picture frame here.
Oh,
wow.
that's nothing to be ashamed
And
of.
something to hang your
That's very nice.
keys or.
Those are nice families in there.
That's all one piece. It doesn't.
We
right?
we should put pictures of ourselves in that and display it for our
there
podcast.
are 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a nice. But that was
That's-
$8 originally,
That seems like a good buy.
and I got it for $2.40.
little key
It's not
holders,
as ugly
like
as
hangers?
the stuff we usually
No,
get.
no, this is quality.
No.
This is quality.
Why that was on sale so cheap?
I don't know.
Left
Yeah,
over Mother's
it's not
Day
a
again?
seasonal thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's timeless.
I wonder if it is a bit timeless, especially with the photos they chose for now. It is a bit timeless.
So that was $2.40.
Wow.
That was a bargain. Thank you,
screaming
Rugged.
deal.
Thank you, Rugged.
Yep.
I guess
And
it's
I got
plastic. It's pretty crappy.
one of these.
Oh, look at this!
Yeah, this was also $2.40.
Oh, so we only got 2 items, but
Well,
man,
no,
that-
there's one more.
wow.
But this is you hang it in your laundry room.
Okay, I can't read it.
There's a
says
lot going on there.
Wash and fold laundry service 24/7. Good, clean fun. Ironing out life's wrinkles one shirt at a time. Hang out here for loads of fun.
There's just way too many sayings on
I
there.
think
too
you
much
could
stuff.
cut that into 3 different
I agree.
signs.
I agree.
Yeah, and get even more bang for your buck.
Yep.
You know those commercials where they, to stop you from becoming your parents?
I love. They're my favorite
Commercial,
commercials
mine
ever.
too.
They have these signs
too.
with the weird sayings on them, and they're dumping them in the trash. And so this reminds me of that. But
That is the best series
We
of
laugh so
commercials.
hard at it.
I
My
love
favorite
them, too.
one is still the blue hair. We all see it.
Yeah, we all
see it.
see
and then,
it,
It's blue. It just he regurgitates it. He can't help it. I love
so
it.
if any of you guys want this, you can hang it in your laundry room. But
Okay.
that's a nice sign.
Are we hashtagging?
Yeah.
And the last thing I got was 30 cents.
I was going to say this had to be really cheap because I thought you were over already.
30 cents, and it was the only one there. And I thought, I don't think we got anybody
excited.
for this to work for. But I have a big wine glass with
Karen.
a nice gold K on it.
It's Karen.
How would
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly. There was just a K.
Hide that in the bag, and we'll
Okay.
give it to her when she comes down.
We should,
we
add
should wash it,
Yeah,
maybe?
we should wash it and fill it with liquor.
It does look
Nasty.
quite cloudy.
We've got the leap right here.
Okay, I'll get her a shot ready.
Yeah.
You guys can
You
move
want to
on.
wash that up, and we'll carry on?
Sure. Yep.
Where are we going next?
Well, we don't want to miss anything that Andy really cares a lot about. So,
Andy, do you care about
No,
people
we're
getting
gonna-
attacked by an axe?
yeah, he wants to know. That one he wants to be a part
No,
of. But we'll
no.
talk about Big Boy.
Okay.
All right, you
No,
do that.
actually, I want you and Big Boy too. Well, oh boy.
Big boy.
do the water-filled boat in Boston or whatever. That.
Okay, I had questions on that too, though, that I wanted you
Okay,
to be
I
part
can
of.
still listen from the sink.
Okay, you just go clean that up. I'm gonna just go with the traffic update because that's pretty. There's nothing to talk about.
Sure. Good call.
No one injured after vehicle crashes into Brown County Arby's. Not much to discuss. Not the first time somebody's gone through an
Right.
Arby's.
Glad that no one got hurt.
What time of day was it?
It was actually just in the middle of the day.
It was just like,
Saturday
oops.
Saturday night. It said,
Oh,
but
F-bomb. That's my gas pedal, not my brake.
1:30 p.m. It was an elderly woman.
Just got confused.
Parked in the handicap spot. Accidentally drove
confused.
into Arby's after her foot slipped.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
either that or she just really wanted that 2 for €6 deal, and they did not have a wheelchair ramp.
I have one time like put my arm over the back of the seat and like looked in reverse like I was about ready to fly in
Yeah.
reverse. And I was
Who
like,
hasn't?
whoa, I'm in drive.
Doesn't that give you like the worst feeling for like a split second?
Yes, that
Oh crap!
1/4 of a second. We were eating dinner at an outdoor restaurant in Three Lakes, Wisconsin, about 4 or 5 summers ago, and all the boats were all parked at the piers,
Oh,
like parallel parked at the piers. And this poor older woman with her 2 grandchildren, who were probably in their late teens, early 20s, it's packed. And all the boats are at the pier, and she goes down and gets in the boat, and they're getting ready to go off, and she somehow rams the throttle, like full throttle, and runs up the back of like one of the most beautifully restored wooden boats I have ever seen in my life, and basically ran her boat up on top of it.
I feel so bad for everyone involved.
I felt bad for the dude whose wooden boat it was, who handled it very well. I felt bad for these grandkids who just looked like they wanted to crawl in a hole and never go to their grandmother's house ever again. And the grandmother, who was still all very confused after the whole thing and said she didn't do it. But I did feel bad. It was it reminds me a lot of that.
Karen is here.
Okay, well, I want to get through traffic, so
Okay.
Karen's going to have to wait 2 minutes.
We're stuck in traffic, Karen.
Police, speeding 13-year-old crashes stolen car on Beltline entrance ramp.
This kid is
He's destined for greatness.
yeah. Yeah, stole a car. He's 13, and
Was it a good car at least, or was it like a Kia?
Details of the car are not listed.
I was hoping it'd be like a Challenger or
that'd be cool.
Hellcat or something.
Yeah, just trying to live out Dukes of Hazzard,
Yeah,
like
just a
fantasies.
good old boy.
Yeah.
So yes, stole a car, speeded onto a ramp, crashed it,
Got out and ran away.
turned the lights off, got off, ran away.
So they caught him, no, obviously, because they knew he was 13.
Yep, took him to the hospital. He was charged for operating a motor vehicle without the owner's consent, a hit and run involving an injury, operating without required lamps lighted, and failure to slow for a flashing yellow signal.
Oh, it's like you didn't know how to drive.
It's like his first time behind a
Wow,
wheel.
weird.
Well said.
You know what would have helped him out a little bit?
What's that?
Maybe if there were cattle
Yeah.
on that entrance ramp. What do I mean by that?
Well, over in, what is this, Barron County?
Yeah.
Yep. They there was a 13-mile chase with the Barron police that ended on a farm in Cumberland, and he could go no further because
Cattle were in the road.
cows were in the way. Yeah.
God bless Wisconsin.
Yep. Tried to
I
cut
love
through a
that.
field or something with a little Chevy Cavalier and came to a herd of cows.
That's so cool.
Couldn't go any further.
Yep. So that's it in Wisconsin traffic.
All right.
Karen!
Calling all Karens.
So, Karen, first of all, this is our 31st episode. You've been with us probably almost since the beginning. Probably like episode 3 or 4. Did we start this?
Yeah.
I don't think it was
I
the
don't think
first
it was the first
one.
one.
I think it was like the third one.
Yeah.
You know,
Pretty
you're,
much all of
You're
them.
Karen. You probably know. But we want, first of all, we wanted to thank you.
Yeah.
Oh.
We got this.
It's a wine glass
Yep.
with a gold letter K on it. It's brand new. It's not a hand-me-down. We didn't make it.
It was on sale at the Dollar General.
Shut up.
Okay.
You're making me blush.
That was for you. Well, what's going to make you blush even more, we'll throw a little bit of leap in there for
This
you.
is becoming
right.
a thing.
can
Every
drop-
time Karen reads a review, she gets a little.
Dump that in a drain when you go upstairs, but it's just... anyway.
Can I read first?
Yes.
Yeah, just now she's getting all ornery at us. It's taking too long. Let me
Well, we want her in that
introduce you.
we want her in that kind of mood for this review.
Yeah, well, she's getting ornery with us already in true Karen fashion. Chotties, I assume you pronounce this?
Sure.
Chotties? Ciatis?
Sure.
Ciabatta? Like, I think ciabatta.
I feel like ciabatta.
So, Chatties? Chatties Italian Grill on Midwest Drive in beautiful Onalaska, Wisconsin. 815 reviews. 4.6 stars, near perfection.
Yep, that's high.
Wow.
2 months ago, this happened.
I had a hair in my breadstick, the lasagna was microwaved, and my fettuccine had little flavor.
That's it.
Cheers.
That's it. Thank you,
Cheers.
Karen.
Wow.
You take that home. You drink
you.
it when you're camping. You think of us.
Okay.
Okay. That's it. Not much to dissect there, but
I mean, there's a little bit here. I just want to point out that this guy's very hungry. Breadstick, lasagna, and fettuccine.
well, it was a Karen.
That's true.
Okay, so
That's a lot of food. Lasagna and fettuccine. I feel like that's 2 main courses.
Well, how do you know that they weren't necessarily alone? But I would say they're spot on with the microwave lasagna. I know that's how it operates in those,
Oh, for
those
sure.
types of places. So anyway, thank you to Karen. She thinks she's been with us since the beginning, but we know better. But don't correct her ever
No,
again.
don't
she,
do
she
that.
she really enjoyed her wine glass. She did good, Andy.
Yeah,
good,
she
good.
said she was blushing. That means well, you were about to spill the beans that we paid 30 cents for it.
Oh, I know. We need to be honest. It was on sale.
You don't why be honest? There's no need for honesty in that case. She should think we paid like at least $3 for that. I wonder what the full price was on that. Is that on your receipt?
I believe it's stuck to the bottom still.
No, this one ran up as being on sale, so it ran up as 30 cents.
It doesn't.
It
show
might have
what
been
it was.
$1.
I think it was $1.
Okay.
Well, that
Well-
would make sense because it was 70% off. So, yeah.
Since we just gave a restaurant review,
Yep.
do you guys remember Mark's Big Boy?
I don't.
They're very iconic. You know, the
Yeah.
the big, huge guy holding the.
You don't
burger.
remember him,
Now,
though, huh?
is that
Eric
Is
said there
that
used to be.
like-
Eric said there used to be one in Wausau.
There was.
in that 70s show? Is the Fatso Burger thing like a knockoff of that? Is that like, because that 70s show takes place in Wisconsin,
I
and
don't know.
they steal Fatso. It's just a huge dude at a fast food burger joint. And they steal him, and it's like this whole thing. Like the town wants Fatso.
Can
burger
somebody
back.
Google Fatso? And I want to see what he looks like, because
Sure.
maybe it was. So Mark's Big Boy, I remember them vividly. I don't know why. I actually have a little toy Mark's Big Boy, like little thing it's probably from the 60s. So this I liked this. There's also a giant Mark's Big Boy statue in Lumpy's in Eagle River in the corner, if nobody ever noticed that.
This isn't an
Oh, no,
original.
that looks like a McDonald's thing to me. Looks like a bad, ugly McDonald's clown.
So this
Really
chain
does.
started in California, and the last one in Wisconsin closed in 1995.
Oh,
So why is it like a Wisconsin, bring it back to Wisconsin thing now if it started in California? I thought they were like a Wisconsin-Milwaukee thing, but it started in California, it says?
Big Boy began in 1936 as a Glendale, California burger joint named Bob's Pantry.
But then it turned into Mark's Big Boy.
And it doesn't reference the word Mark. I think that's a specific restaurant.
that was Mark owned that.
Yeah, Mark owned that one.
Mark had that.
Otherwise,
chain.
it's just called Big Boy.
Huh. I remember them being Mark's Big Boy, and I think Mark was spelled with a C. Maybe not. Might have been a K. Can somebody Google Mark's Big Boy? and see what I'm getting
Beginning in
confused on
1989, the Marcus Corporation
Oh.
owned Mark's Big Boy.
that? Is that with a C? So M-A-R-C, like Mark's Big Boy?
Yep, and then renamed itself Marcus Restaurants and began distancing itself from the Big Boy image.
We got to get away from the Big Boy. Mm-hmm. Distancing
The
itself.
Marcus Corporation closed the last remaining Big Boy in the state. That was the one in Milwaukee on West Capitol Drive.
What is the Marcus Corporation? Is that the theaters, or is it something
I
different?
don't know.
So I like that they had to distance themselves from the Big Boy. Did the Big Boy get caught driving in the on-ramp when he was 13? I mean, what did the Big Boy do that he had to be distanced?
Yeah, that's an interesting way to put that.
We had to distance.
Yeah.
Did the
That
Big
says
Boy?
We had to cut ties with
That
Big
seems
Boy.
that seems like something that happens nowadays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that's
weird.
what Aaron Rodgers is doing.
Cutting ties.
He's distancing himself.
He is distancing himself, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's a Wisconsin woman who distanced herself from a friend by serving her eye drops to kill her.
I had to ask Eric.
Great
about,
segue.
I had to ask Eric about this.
Why?
Because he said something about this at work the other day, like because he's got his eyes messed up or something, and he was putting eye drops in and said something like, "I'm gonna put some of these drops in your water to give you the runs." And I said, "Is that a thing? Is that thing?" Yeah. He said, "That's a thing. That's people will mess with people. Put eye drop in their
He
water."
saw
'cause
that in
What?
Wedding Crashers.
That's what he.
That's from Wedding
okay,
Crashers.
Okay. Yep.
The movie,
I
yeah.
think he might have referenced that too.
Yep.
So it started out with something like that, and I'm like, why does it do that? And so he then talked about eye drops, and you can OD on eye drops, and you shouldn't put too many in, and you can't drink them, and like your body can only handle so much, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a thing, I guess.
So this woman...
It's Visine specifically, I guess, and something about that ingredient, which is tetrahydrozoline.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like it's good for you.
It really,
it constricts blood vessels, right?
Yep.
So how much did this woman have to give that other woman to kill her?
It said she brought her friend a water bottle loaded with 6 bottles worth of Visine.
Oh! Does it not have a taste?
Yeah, I would say, how do you, like, it has
6
to.
bottles of Visine.
I mean, they're not big bottles, but still in one little water bottle.
Yeah. 6 of them is considerable.
That's a lot. But she staged it to look like it was like an OD. She crushed medication and put on the victim's chest and a plate nearby to make it look like she did it herself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because she was in her will, wasn't that? Like, seriously, like
really?
she was the beneficiary of her life insurance policy.
Oh, really?
That was what instigated this.
Oh.
Maybe it's not in the article I gave you guys, but it wasn't an article I read.
Yeah, it says the victim would be 65 if she was still alive.
A probate case, seeks to remove her as the beneficiary of the estate.
Wow.
Yep.
Since we're talking about death, 3 people attacked with an axe in Monroe County. 1 dead.
Yeah.
Vicious.
Yep, in Sparta, town of Sparta, Wisconsin.
We've gone through, like, would you rather get shot, bow and arrow?
Axe is on the top of the list of not want for me.
It ranks right up there.
Yeah. Well, it's just like Amityville Horror.
What's the story here? It said the person who died has been identified as the guy's 87. The guy that got axed. Well, that's the proper term here, I think.
Yeah.
Well, are you suggesting he maybe just only died of a heart attack?
No, well, it's just because that's an old man. Who's going after an 87-year-old with an axe? So I'm asking,
question.
what's the story? What happened?
And how would you like to live damn near 90 years and then someone does you in with an axe?
Yeah, it's not right. That ain't the way to go.
And then it just keeps going. Monroe County Sheriff's Office said the suspect remains hospitalized after sustaining a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Because he didn't want to die by an axe either.
Yielding all kinds of weapons?
Yeah, but he didn't die. He's in the hospital.
I understand, but what I'm saying is...
just saying, like, can you imagine now? Oof.
But it doesn't give any information about the story. It doesn't say why he attacked people with an axe, why
were they all family members?
Why he had a gun, why he shot himself.
This is in Sparta?
Yeah.
Which seems to me like Sparta should be a pretty normal
It's a really
place.
nice little town.
Yeah.
We got an email from Karen just now.
Oh, boy.
What?
Love the glass, even if you left the price on the bottom of it and it came from the dollar store. At least she doesn't know it's 30 cents. She thinks it's $1.
I wonder what the bottom price said.
Yep. It's at $1. So she knows we went at least a little cheap, but she doesn't know how cheap.
Well, so there's those 2 odd stories of murder and death in Wisconsin, which I had never ever heard this story before that I included. How a former Green Bay Packer became a vicious serial killer.
Yeah, I had never heard this either.
Now, it's a stretch to say he was a former Green Bay Packer because he was drafted by the Packers in like the 15th or 17th round when there were that many rounds back in the like 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
And he was on the Packers squad for like all of 2 weeks and they cut him. But the guy ended up murdering 44 people, if memory serves me.
Yep.
What's this dude's name? Randall something?
Randall Woodfield. This is a long story. This is pages and pages.
It's like
and
his
pages.
whole history of how he became a serial killer.
Yeah, he lived. They said he was a messed up kid. I read this whole story.
Well, he had a really normal upbringing, normal life, but then he was just kind of an oddball through college and stuff.
Everybody always said from the time he was like 10 years old until he was through college.
And I guess he wasn't even that good at football. Like his whole team wondered how he even got drafted. Like he was not good. He's average at best.
Yeah, they said that. The Packers saw something special there.
I guess.
And he was released from the Packers and then another team, I think, and neither gave any explanation as to why he was released.
Well, the other team that picked him up had a Wisconsin City name. What was it?
Oh, you're right, it was. It was the Manitowoc something or other.
Yeah,
a small town team.
I was curious what that was back in. What year was this? Does it give a year, a reference?
He was born...
He was drafted in 74.
Okay, so 74, what was going on in Manitowoc for football?
The Manitowoc Chiefs.
What was that, I wonder?
I don't know. I'll let you guys Google that.
Okay.
Yeah, so he had a history of, as far back as high school, of exposing himself to people.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That I get. But murder and exposing yourself are 2 different things. Murdering 44 people and just showing your genitalia. You know?
You can't do either of those things.
Oh, well, what? Since when?
You're gonna get yourself into trouble. I
This is a bad podcast. Let's just start over. Well, I am obviously being sarcastic about like. Isn't there a difference between like just being an idiot who likes to show your junk versus going on a 44?
Yeah, there's definitely a difference.
On a 44 game hitting streak.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah. There's definitely a difference. The only thing I can find for Manitowoc Chiefs is their youth football program right now, currently. So.
He played for the Manitowoc Chiefs 12-year-old Pop Warner team. He was the best kid on that team.
Was
that's
still
for sure.
average, yeah.
yeah, and he got caught there. This dude, no wonder he went on a killing spree.
kidding.
He started with that coach.
Yeah.
We're laughing at this. Is the 44 people who are affected?
Yeah.
by
If
this
you
do
read
not
this
find
whole
it
story,
funny.
if you read this
it's
whole
really
story,
messed
it is really disturbing.
Yeah.
The amount of stuff that he did to the amount of people that he did it to, of all ages. And
Well, this is a disturbing
it's
story.
very disturbing.
And that's where I get like, hasn't Dateline covered all of these that exist in the entire world?
You know, there
already?
are so many serial killer stories out there that aren't as known as the Ed Geins and stuff. It's weird. It's a very weird thing. Yeah.
Well, let's go from these bad stories to a good story. So there was this dude who was from Wisconsin, decided he was going to buy a boat out in like Boston or the East Coast somewhere, and he bought this sailboat.
Okay.
And his intent was to sail all the way to like the Bahamas. So he gets on this boat. He's like a day or two in, hits rough seas, all hell breaks loose. He thinks his boat is sinking. He jumps in the dinghy or the lifeboat, takes it to shore. Never tells a soul what happens, goes back to Wisconsin and just like carries on.
He sold the rowboat, the dinghy that he paddled ashore. He sold it.
But so
he sold that to buy the plane ticket back to
back
Wisconsin.
to Wisconsin.
Yep.
This is the most bizarre story, in my opinion, because so then the Coast Guard or whoever finds this floating sailboat, and immediately when you find an abandoned sailboat, you assume somebody drowned.
Yep.
Right.
So you think there's a search effort for this dude. They find his like ID somehow, somewhere on the boat, and then they realize they find him back in Wisconsin and are like, why did you never tell anybody what happened? Am I the only one that thinks this is just?
It is very bizarre.
Very bizarre.
And what he said in the interview makes me think that he just there's a lot of things here that makes me think he wasn't the most experienced sailor on the water.
Well,
but he ends it with his advice for other sailors: learn how to use the radio.
Well,
He didn't even know how to call for help or do anything.
this is just the dumbest story ever, and this dude couldn't have been all there because I couldn't imagine. All of the steps this guy went through and never told a soul, like, hey, I was caught in a storm and
Like, what did he tell people back in Wisconsin when he got there? Nah, I don't know. I just gave it up, sold the boat.
I
Like,
just decided sailing wasn't for me.
yeah.
Yeah,
Comes
this
back
is
with
nuts.
nothing.
So he's 6 days out, was sleeping, got woken up by a storm or the wave or something like that, discovered there was water on board and that his anchor line had snapped, so he decided to jump ship.
That's
Like,
And then
Just get the heck out.
somehow
Like,
made it back to shore.
instead of any problem solving, just like, well, this is it.
I'm
I'm
done.
out.
Yeah, I can't.
Problems, right? Yeah. But then to think, okay, he got back to shore and he's 6 days in, so he's nowhere near where he started.
No.
Okay, like, who did he meet when he got back to shore?
I know.
You know,
Where
it's
did
like,
he end up?
Hey, and how did nobody say like, how did you get here? And this is just strange to me.
I feel like this should be a movie.
I feel like
I
he went
do,
out.
just
I
like
feel
a-
like
like
he
a
went out with
comedy.
someone else, and there's going to be more to this story.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Well, stay tuned, I guess.
That's my because none of this makes sense to me.
No.
None of this makes sense to me. I think he was on that boat with someone else. And this is all just
That would make a good movie.
a cover up.
Yeah. Yeah, it really would.
We should start writing that. We tried that once.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if that doesn't turn out to be the case, this is just an unbelievable thing.
Well, this was an event of sort, and then we're going to go into events.
Okay.
Wisconsin father sets new push-up world record to raise money for family of fallen first responders.
This is unbelievable. The
did
number
a
of push-ups this guy did.
Million some, didn't he?
1,500,231.
Can you try that number again?
1,500,231 push-ups in a year,
That averages over 4,000 push-ups a day.
a day.
Yeah, he did this over 365 days.
How many push-ups do you think you could do in a day?
Not 4,000.
I think I could get not even close to that before my arms fell off my body.
Just think of what kind of training you do. It's not like he had to work up to 4,000 a day. It's not like
Yeah.
he started on day one. Is like, well, today I'm going to do 50.
Yeah.
You know, and then
Yeah.
But I couldn't do. Andy, you do push-ups like every hour.
I do push-ups at 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock.
How many do you
1
do?
o'clock and 3 o'clock. 30 at a crack.
Okay,
so I'm
30.
I'm up to 120 a day.
Okay,
That's a lot to me.
And that is a lot.
That's a lot.
And he's
That's
at 4,000.
you'd have to do 1,000 every 2 hours.
The man's a robot.
How do you have time to do that? 1,000 push-ups every 2 hours.
Who's keeping track
on my schedule?
Because that doesn't even seem possible.
No, it doesn't.
Let's say that you did.
How long? Like literally, how long would it take you to do 2,000 push-ups?
Well, just think if you did 100 every hour, that's only 2,400. You'd have to average almost 200 per hour.
No.
If you think about it that way, you'd have to do 180, 190 per hour. If you think about it that way, it's possible, but that's if you're awake 24 hours. So now cut that in half.
Yeah, this guy does lots of.
You'd have to do 350 push-ups, 380 push-ups per hour while you're awake.
It says in the past 15 months, he's also ran 50 miles around his house, finished 3,000 push-ups during a marathon once, finished 5,000 push-ups during a 31-mile trail race, and then his 1.5 million push-ups in the last year.
Just so you know, Andy, you're heading this direction.
Well, this man's a robot.
Andy's
you're gonna
heading
have to.
We're gonna read a story about Andy when he's about 46. This will be Andy. He'll do something like this. What does a dude look like? Is he buff?
There's a very blurry picture of him doing a push-up, but he looks like he could.
Can you Google his name and see if there's a better pic?
I'll start playing this video and see if it shows him. But he's doing push-ups here on.
This guy should just look fantastic.
He's on the 50-yard line of MetLife Stadium right now.
And then why was it MetLife Stadium? I didn't get that. Dude just happened to be from Wisconsin. Where's he from in Wisconsin?
The reason he was at the MetLife Stadium was that he broke the record that day in front of first responders during halftime of the 48th annual Fun City Bowl.
Nice. Well, that's nice. Where's he from in Wisconsin? Does it say?
I mean, he's got some big biceps.
Yeah,
there.
he's not buff.
Yeah.
But he's not like he doesn't look. I expected him to look just shredded, and he's not shredded.
No, but I mean he's buff.
Well, he looks good. How old is he? He's pretty old too, right?
What did it say? 40, 46, something like that.
Looking at that video and how slow
45?
he does his push-ups too, now I'm questioning even more so that.
The time issue here.
Yeah, look at how slow he does them. I will say he's perfect in his form, though.
Yeah.
Well, you should be after doing 1.5 mil. I mean.
I better get started. I'm not going to hit that number.
So you got to start doing close to 400 push-ups per hour every hour you're awake. Good luck.
400. Okay, that's what you guys figured out. 400 push-ups.
Well, if it's 4,000 a day,
Yeah.
so let's say you're awake 10
Yeah.
hours. You're awake
Okay.
more than 10 hours. I get it, but you're not going to want to do push-ups from the time you hop out of bed to the time you hop in.
I got to do how many? 400 an hour?
400 every hour for 10 hours. So let's say you
For
started
a year, dude. Every
if you
day.
started at 8 a.m., you'd be done with your push-ups by 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
400 from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., 400 per hour. Let's see. If
I
we
should try
can
to do
get-
that one day.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Let's see if we could work you up to that over like the course of a week or.
Dude, if you did that in one day, I would be beyond impressed.
So I got to go from 8 a.m. to
I'm not
6
saying that you
p.m.
can't. I just
400
would be,
push-ups once an hour.
400 an hour.
The thing is like back in the day, I could do a lot of push-ups. Like I was pretty. Like I bet you I could knock all like 150 before I'd die.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you think you could do before you're exhausted and would have
like
to take
straight.
Like
Yeah.
that one.
Oh God.
I'd like to think I could get to like.
120, 130?
I don't even know if I could go that high. I've never tried it. I would guess 80 or something like that. 80 straight.
I know, like when I was in the Navy, we had this physical fitness thing we had to do once a year or twice a year, and I think it was a timed thing, and I think I knocked out like 100 and some odd push-ups one
That's a
time
lot.
in like 2 minutes.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I was fit and trim then.
Yeah.
Not fat and old. Now I can't even throw a shot put or a run a 50. Huh. Okay, well, we have some events. One of these makes me so sad.
Yeah.
They were talking about Rhubarb Fest in
I am.
Osceola. Yep.
Yep.
Fun for the whole family. Community-wide garage sales, a bouncy house, craft fair, farmers market, bake sale, pancake breakfast, fishing clinic, and a duckathon at Mill Pond Park in Osceola.
It sounds like
Rhubarb-
we could beat it.
Rhubarb pancakes would be so good. I got rhubarb yesterday from my aunt
I was going to ask
Margot.
how your haul was this year.
I didn't get much. I sliced it up last night and put it in little the food saver bags, and I only got 6 cups of chopped rhubarb. I was hoping to have a lot more than that. So Rhubarb Fest in Osceola. Damn you, Osceola. And we had one other good one.
Yeah, this is one that Tim's going to go down and do, I think. It's the Sheboygan Salmon Cup.
Yeah.
Tournament for fishing salmon over in Sheboygan.
Catch yourself a big old salmon.
I don't know what the pot is, but it sounded like something Tim would want to do.
I'm not much of a salmon guy, just not by choice, just by region of
I was gonna say nature,
where I grew up.
of where you live.
Yeah.
Welp, good afternoon.
Good evening.
And good night.